Yeah. Got the intro for him now. I know the meaning to stay down. Gotta stay focused to come up. Gotta believe in the hustle. Yeah. Got it all off of the muscle. Nah, just stay down. Gotta stay focused to come up. Gotta believe in the hustle. Got it all off of the muscle. Stay down. Come up. I'll be on the business side.
Yeah, you know. Get enough stay down.
Come up. Gotta believe in the hustle. Stay down. Come up. Stay down. Come up. Stay down. Come up. Got it all off of the muscle. I know the meaning to stay down. Pivot, keep talking my shit. Hey, I know the meaning to come up. All of my wrists. Fendi, I put on my bitch. Hey, don't say goodbye to my kicks. You know that Dela got hits.
Hey, this is my favorite part right here, right?
Break down a brick. Hey, make them uncomfortable. Came from the ghetto and now we the Hustables, nigga. Hey, I put the nickel and diamond the haters. I had to say dominoes, nigga.
Alright, let's keep this bitch on. This is good. Yo. What's happening with it? It's your boy Crim Dela Crim with my co-host Pacman. Gotti. It's going all the way down.
Yes.
We got a special guest. Yo, matter of fact, this podcast low-key don't exist
without this guy.
Without this dude.
Like,
one of the GOATs, motherfucking track record insane. He that dude. He like my role model if I was white. Like nah. I'm half white. He like half my role model. It's going all the way down. Make some motherfucking noise for my guy. Thad, man. It's going all the way down.
Thad Swift in the building.
Yeah, what's up, dude?
We appreciate you coming.
Yeah.
Pause.
No, I appreciate it.
No, Diddy.
I appreciate you guys having me. I've been thinking about this conversation because we haven't actually even spoke since I helped you guys set this all up.
I know.
So there's so much stuff that's happened for me. I know there's probably a lot of stuff that's happened for you guys. So this is going to be kind of like a moment for us to catch up.
Yeah.
But a lot of fun conversation.
Absolutely.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you said, this wouldn't exist without you doing what you did for us, because that was the missing piece we needed to get started, to jump off that cliff. Like now we're going, there's no excuses why we can't keep going.
Right.
It's on us. And we want this show. So we're going to stay with this shit. We're going to stay down till we come up with it.
Absolutely.
Without you actually, and for anyone wanting to know, he took time out of his week actually, and flew down to California and helped us set our podcast place up, our studio in an apartment. Got the
not only that, but made the Google Doc for all the equipment to get ordered.
Yeah.
Flew down to Cali, set our whole setup up. And see, this is why I really owe the whole podcast to you, because I don't like doing low budget stuff, right? And so I just know how me and Paco, we're not really visually inclined with a lot of stuff. So if we would have just set up some rink-a-dink shit, we might have not really stayed down with the shit. But you had us so official. We've been excited since you set it up. We want to record. And now that we got some episodes under our belt, we got other podcasts that we set up in different locations, and we're excited to set it up because of the knowledge you gave us. So, big shout out to you, bro. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
You like a stay down till you come up co-founder, dog.
Yeah. No, I mean, but it honestly makes sense. And I'm the exact same way, so I relate in that sense. Because of my background in film, I have such a hard time doing things low quality, and if I do, I'm not really into it. So I completely understand what you guys mean, because I had the same thing with my, when I started making YouTube content recently, and I tried for years, but I could never do it until I had a setup where I have a camera as my webcam, a real camera. It's the same camera you guys have for yours. Yeah. I have a mic just like this, and I can just swivel it away. And when I want to record, I go swivel here, click record on my computer, and it's set up, but it actually looks good. And for me, it's the same thing. And maybe it's just because I'm a camera snob, but I wanted the quality, and I wouldn't take it serious until I did. And as soon as I set that up, made it easy for myself to record, consistency came with it. But that's just me.
That's my biggest problem. And he'll always tell you, we be arguing about overthinking, and I'm I stand on dude, I got to put thought into some shit if I'm going to put it out. I'm a perfectionist with how I want my shit or anything I touch to look. And I think it stems from being here and watching a lot of the local scene put out so much low quality visuals and stuff growing, as we were all coming up.
Yeah.
It irked my nerves to see people put out just low quality. And then I think the cherry on top, so many people would just walk around on this pedestal that they put themselves on like they've made it because they're putting out stuff. And it was a joke to me. So I always told myself, like, I'll never entertain that circus. I will never be a part of that circus in putting out low quality shit. If it can't be top tier quality, I'm not even gonna be a part of it. Fuck it, I'll move away. And he knows that way. We done gotten some arguments and everything just about like thinking into content, literally just about putting thought into content. And neither one was wrong in the argument either, you know, but that's the funny part about content. Like I think the biggest lesson I've learned about making content is no content is the only bad content. Yeah. But you can have low quality content.
Well, And when with me too, I think just my standard, like with music videos, I kind of always just had like a higher quality music video. And so like when I would ever like shoot a music, this is why I can relate to you on that, just on the music video side, because like I have such a high standard for a music video. So when I get one that's not like up there, I'll be like, oh,
like man. Bonfire.
Oh, we on that nigga head today, huh? Hey, yo, Peyton, we on your motherfucking noggin today, nigga.
Peyton's the one person that
didn't hear the beginning of the conversation.
Peyton's the one person that sent us a video one time that I literally had to call and be like, I know you did not feel okay with sending that over for a final cut. It was the most embarrassing shit I think I've ever.
Okay. We on his head so tough. We will give him some props.
He actually is like really good. Though.
Yeah, no, he's good. He's good.
All jokes aside, like
he's good.
He is actually really good, and he's gotten a lot better.
Yeah,
dude, he's staying down till he comes up. No, we give Peyton shit like
he like our little brother, you know.
Peyton knows like anything he needs, I'm trying to help him get to that. And I'm hard on him for a reason. It's not just on some like talk shit, you know what I mean? Like, dude, you got the potential to be fucking top tier. I'm going to bring that shit out of you if you're going to be around me, you know? So with that music video, I was just like on it. Said this was 5 years ago too, though. You know?
We might need a clip, just a quick scene. I might have to send it to Jake and just like, I would just clip like 10 seconds.
We got to get his permission for that first.
And then we'll clip like a one of the Damien good one, because you know he got some classics with Damien.
Yeah.
So then we'll go like Bond. Actually, it's just he do me like that. Matter of fact, actually it's just beef with me and him. Matter of fact, cause nigga he do me like that and then go shoot something legendary with Damien. I'm like, where the fuck this come from?
I think the difference in that though is Damien has a vision.
Yeah, I don't have a vision.
Music videos, and you're kind of the artist that like need a videographer to bring the treatment.
And that's just how it's always been for me. I've never had to like be creative. Like in any time I'm being creative with a music video, it's just like something like whatever the song's about. I'll just like, oh, whatever I say, let's do something like that. You know what I mean? I don't really like think into it.
You've probably dealt with a lot of artists that's like, here's the song, come up with the treatment, and then they're relying on you to be a creative director on a music video.
I mean, I've done both. Like, I mean...
You've killed some music videos, too.
Thank you.
Like, really killed some shit.
I mean, I've done both. Like, I've been on the one side where the artists will come to us with a song and they just say, figure it out. And then I've had artists like Damien who have their own vision and everything. I feel like I like a mix of both personally, but I've also gone the full-blown, like, director route. Like, I enjoyed it. Like when Jake and I were in LA, we were doing stuff, especially with like AK. I think that he would come to us like a full album. We would literally have to concept like 7 or 8 videos. And that was a lot, but it's fun. I will say it's like, I don't know if, and I looking back on it, I don't know if that was like my strong suit though.
Yeah.
Like just the creative vision behind music videos. I think I know how to make videos look good, but creating the vision felt like a chore.
Yeah.
It didn't really feel like something that came naturally to me, even though I think I was actually pretty decent at it. It's just one of those things where it felt like it wasn't a gift of mine, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Right. I feel like it has to have an artistic touch. And so like if you're not really if you don't want to be an artist, you got to dig deep to find that creative button, you know, to really push that narrative. And that's where I lack as far as like trying to make music and shit like that, is like I really don't have that like artistic creative touch. I do have a creative touch when it comes to business and marketing and shit like that, but like as far as being an artist.
Yeah. Well, and then I mean, I guess all artists are different, but like with me, like I like to write and just create in my downtime. Like as it's like a hobby too, you know, for me. And so like I know some artists go in and just kind of like punch in and just do shit, but like even that is you gotta like love that too, you know, because if you don't, it's gonna feel like a job and you're eventually gonna quit.
Yeah.
You know, but hey, we touched on this with the video. So you guys, you said you guys were in LA and doing all that. For people who don't know you, I want people to know you because you're really a unique, dope individual that you got some really dope shit going on right now
and inspired the fuck out of me.
Right, and you've done a lot of dope shit. Like, so you've done a lot of dope shit, and then you've transitioned into something completely different and killing it on some real stay down till you come up. And that's what this platform's all about. We want to really highlight people that stay down and come up from the stay down. You know what I mean? So like, that's why you're just a perfect guest for this. And you know, when I remember Pac had told me, he was like, yeah, man, I'll let you like get into, you know, the specifics of what you're doing. But when he told me like how you pivoted and really started winning, man, that shit inspired me because that's what I did. You know, even though I'm still a musician, I'm sure you'd still shoot a music video if it made sense.
Yeah.
But like I pivoted into the real estate, wholesale and real estate space and was able to stay down and come up. And so that's why I felt like there was a lot of similarities between me and you on that pivot, you know. So, but yeah, I'd love for, you know, the fan base to like really just kind of hear about that, you know. So, I mean, you can kick it off wherever you want.
Sure. Yeah. I actually just made a video about like the 17 to 19 journey of like starting the business to LA. So I kind of just talked about this. I was trying to like condense it as much as possible. But yeah, I mean, yeah, no, in the transition too, like speaking on that too, I'm in the middle of another one. So we'll talk about that as well, I'm sure. I mean, not fully like getting away from what I'm doing, but like definitely seeing new avenues. But yeah, so when I was 17, I mean, I could go back further, but I grew up making videos for fun. Like some of the hobbies that I had, like I used to play soccer and I documented that with me and my brother. Then I got really good at yo-yoing. I don't know if I've told you guys that. I used to be like competition level with yo-yos.
Damn. Wow. Oh, shit.
It was a really weird like year and a half phase of my life. I was like 10, 11 years old. And I used to record that. And then when I got into like the acrobatics and the flips and the parkour and stuff, like with my buddies, we were just making videos for fun because it was like skateboarding.
Yeah.
Everyone in that space recorded what they did. That was how the community existed.
Yeah.
And eventually that turned into music videos. And I was like, you said what?
How?
Well,
how
honestly,
that turn into music videos from making parkour videos.
Well, to be honest, there's actually a pretty like, there's actually like some similarities there. Cause like, that's really kind of what it was. It was just music. It's like you're taking a bunch of clips and stuff and cutting it and putting it to music and, you know, all that. So it's kind of similar. But so Jake and I, shout out Jake and I were in this college program. So that's how we met actually.
Oh, okay.
So me and Jake both went to this college program at Butler, and it was like an early IT academy kind of thing. And so we were both juniors in high school, and we went to this, and right around that time I had just gotten I don't even remember where the interest came from. I was like, I want to try a music video. So I then started asking around. I was online. And funny little note for you, while I was searching the very, very first time for artists online, I found Damien.
Really?
So yeah, I was 17. I think he was 15 at the time. And I found his music video that Kenny had, Kenny's his name, right? Yeah. Kenny had shot.
Kenny Blaze?
Yeah. Kenny had done one that was like out by the trains or something like that. And I saw that video and I remember like putting him on my list of people I was going to reach out to.
That's funny.
Super funny. And I lived with him like 4 years later. Yeah. But anyway, I was just looking around and eventually I had someone recommend me a band. I got in touch with them, and that was my first like paid shoot. So I did a photo shoot. I got paid $40 to drive out to Lawrence. I spent more money in gas than I got paid. As you
Stay
do.
down.
But I didn't give a shit. I got paid money to use my camera.
Yeah.
You know, I'm 17 years old. I had like the way I had bought my camera was from working for my dad. My dad has like a lawn irrigation, just like a side business. So I was like digging holes in the summer. Like that's brutal. And I was doing that for a couple summers, not very diligently, but like I saved up some money, bought a camera.
Yeah.
But before that, I'd never had money, you know, maybe you get some money on Christmas and stuff like that, you know. And like any kid, I think my parents did a good job of teaching me to value money by not giving me whatever the hell I wanted. So when I got it, I just saved it and saved it and saved it. So I started reinvesting money into equipment as soon as I started making money on music videos. You know, I made my first like $200 on a music video, and I was like mind blown.
Yeah.
$200 for a music video?
Yeah.
The coolest shit in the world.
I could do this 10 times and make $2,000.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. My mind was running. So did a couple music videos, didn't get paid for all of them as you know, Wichita artists. I think that's just an artist thing in general.
Yeah.
You work with some low quality artists like people.
We
like
thought
Legend,
it was a Wichita thing until we moved to Denver, and then we're like, oh, maybe it's just a Wichita-Denver thing. And then we moved to LA, and we're like, oh, well, fuck, this must be everywhere, because everywhere we go, we see the same hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally.
Not a coincidence, but that's also just like art. If the artists are broke, this is what I always said. If the artists are broke, imagine the people working with them.
Yeah.
Which is why I don't do music videos anymore. But anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. So I mean, trying to condense it as much as I can. I mean, I just did more and more music videos. Then I tried commercial stuff. I was doing actually real estate videos at one point as well. I was doing like family photo shoots. At some point I got into weddings, which is, you know, what we do now. I was trying like all sorts of different things.
Anything you could do to make $1 off that camera.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything. We did photo, we did video. Me and Jake both, and Jake actually and I both kind of started at the same time. So we were both.
So you
doing
guys came
photos
up
and
together,
videos.
because I mean, we know the story.
Big shout out, Jake.
You
Hey, man,
guys
come
don't
put
know
your
Jake?
face in the camera real quick. Just real quick. I would stick that
I'm about to
motherfucker
say,
face
he
in the
behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
Jake's helping.
We
us
need
out
your
here.
face in the
honestly,
camera.
like, shout out Jake on this whole situation.
Yeah, there you go,
too.
there you go.
Like,
Boom, boom.
he actually behind the scenes making this shit happen as we speak, literally. So shout out Jake.
Yeah, shout out
Shout
Jake.
out
man.
Dad. I met both of you guys together at the same time too. That's the funny thing about that.
Yep. So, but literally exactly as you said. Anything I could do to make $1 off the camera, that's what I did. But the thing is I was in school. So I was in school, in high school, and in college, and I was trying to maintain some high school relationship, and just everything. It was ridiculous. I was sleeping like 3 hours a night. Like I'm not joking. I would work, you know, every hour I wasn't in school. And when I was in school, I would be editing music videos in class. It's funny as shit. I'm in the back of the room editing music videos. There's like guns getting pointed at the camera and shit. And like people will walk by like, what the hell are you doing? Like I remember my science teacher like walk by like, what are you doing? But she knew like what I was working on. She was actually pretty cool about it. But I would be editing videos in class and stuff. And anyway, but so I did that. And I mean, Jake probably remembers when I was in college, I was doing the same thing. Just always working on the business, like while I was in school. Something had to go, so it was sleep. So I just, you know.
Right. Something had to go.
Something had to go.
You had to find the time.
Yeah. That and then any sort of social life, of course, as well. I didn't do anything the last 2 years of high school. Like I talked
just locked in.
Oh yeah. I talked to people who I went to school with like afterwards, and they were just like, yeah, like I remember hearing some girl tell me, she was like, yeah, you were like a recluse. Like that's what she called me. I was like, yeah, fair enough.
But that's why you are where you are at 25.
Yeah.
And I bet 85 to 90% of your class are not even 50% of where you are. And that's because you've put that time in and you stayed down from 17 to you're 25 now?
Yeah.
To 25, that's 8 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And was passionate about it too, you know.
Passionate and
you can stay down with the wrong
reinvested.
thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Reinvested every dollar.
Yeah, reinvested,
Like,
really
so-
passionate. Like, there's a lot that someone can take from just what you said so far. You know, like when I say being passionate about the wrong thing, you know, a motherfucker could do something for a long time staying down, but it just isn't what you're meant to do. You know, like you had so much love for the camera, and so you were going above and beyond. I'm sure you were studying, watching YouTube videos on how to do this, how to do that, how to fix
I'm sure
this
you
setting.
still do that.
Still, you know what I mean? Like, even with the wholesale and real estate, like I became so obsessed with it. You know, even when I wasn't working, I was working because I was consuming content to teach myself different things, you know? And so, like, you really got to have that love, I feel like. The music, the if you're an actor, like, it's more than just going on set and trying out. Like, it's at home, like, practicing your lines and, like, so whatever you're doing, man, it's finding that love to really make sure you're doing the right thing, in my opinion. You know,
You obviously loved it. You had
And
a
you-
camera for 8 years.
you sacrificed, you know, like you said, the last 2 years of high school, just so you could do something you was passionate about. So, like, I love to hear that because it shows in your success.
The
It's
kids
not-
need to hear it. For anyone young watching this shit, that, you know, they need to hear this shit, and this lets them know it's possible. But yeah, you got to dedicate that time at some point.
Yeah.
I waited till I was 24 to figure out what it was I was really passionate about, which was the music business. But I'm 31 now. I'm 7 years in, ironically.
Mm-hmm.
And he'll tell you, like I spent, you've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I spent way more money than I ever made trying to do this shit.
Yeah.
And I've never wanted to quit.
Mm-hmm.
I on the way here this morning, I was listening to a podcast.
I was about to say,
myself.
with you, it's the same as him. Yeah, I mean, he might have started earlier, but like once we started the music, like I knew way more than you.
Yeah.
You didn't know anything except
know
that you
shit.
wanted to be in the music business. And now you can run circles around me when it comes. Like, he'll know some shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't know that. I don't know what you talking about, dog. But he know like everything because you obsessed over it. Like, this motherfucker was reading books. I remember you had like music industry books in the music business. And you bought coaching courses for the music.
Yeah.
You know, like
Early,
just really locked in and loving it. And just like,
and still
and not even like making no money, investing money, coaching courses, books, time, you know?
Yep.
So same with you. Like all that shit means something, you know? Like I don't want to just pass over that. That's very important. Like that's how you know, okay, maybe this is something I should lock into because I'm doing it for free. It was like Jason Williams, a basketball player. He was talking about how players complain about their NBA contracts. He was like, bro, I didn't give a fuck what I made because I was going to do it for free anyways. You know, I did it for matter of fact, when I was playing AAU and shit, you know, we were spending money to be in these leagues.
Yeah.
You know, and even if I didn't get paid a contract, I was still gonna play. That's the passion. That's the love. You was gonna shoot that camera even when them broke rappers didn't pay you.
Yeah.
You was gonna study that motherfucking music business
And
even
still
when
do.
you was and still do. You know?
Literally.
So like, I just want to touch. I didn't mean to interrupt you like that, but I thought that was a real important piece of the stay down is like really finding something you're passionate about. So like you really lock in.
Yeah.
So cool. So that's really how you started. I know, like you say, you was trying to condense it, and then I think you went to LA.
I want to know how. Because a lot of people, if they're not familiar with you, even if they are, like you got hundreds of millions of views on music videos. You had a lot of success as a music video director and a music videographer. How did you find that success within music videos before you ever pivoted?
Yeah.
Like, what was that turning point that was like, yep, I got this shit down. Now I can go ahead and press the pedal down with these music videos. And I believe you were in LA when this actually turned around for you and started to work music video wise, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, one thing I want to say before I dive right into that, just to add to what you guys were saying, is two things. One thing you said that I think is actually important to hear for people who are getting started or who are doing it right now. You said like, oh, I never feel like quitting. And I feel like quitting all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's important for people to understand.
About quitting.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, obviously, I've never done it because I'm still here.
Yeah.
But like, I think about it all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that it's important for people to know that that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
Because this shit's hard.
It's hard.
Because this shit's hard. Like, if it was easy, everyone would be doing it.
Major point.
But I wanted to mention that just because, like, I think whenever I hear someone who's like way up there say something like that, it just makes me feel a little bit better knowing that I'm not crazy for feeling like, oh man, I don't really want to do this. Like when I hear Alex Hormozy,
we not crazy.
Right there.
For that reason, what you just said, when you hear that shit, it makes you like, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Because when you're amongst so many people at this level, but you're trying to get to this level and you see yourself at this level, but you're around so many people at this level, it's easy to feel crazy.
Well, and it's only delusion until it works, you know?
Exactly. So like with that, you just made a major point. Major point. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
that was
crazy.
major. Yeah,
you're right.
Because I feel that too. You know, the wanting to quit. That's a boy, that motherfucker. What is a force of average, boy?
That's the force of average.
The force of average be sneaking up trying to pimp slap a nigga, man.
Bro, I'm saying, especially when you're in the middle of a pivot.
Yes.
If you're transitioning and trying anything new, doubt is all you're gonna
talk
have.
to him.
Yeah.
Like,
that's all.
Come on, Dad, talk to him. God damn it.
I'm in the middle of it right now. So I've had like, whenever I talk to Damien, like me and Damien have actually gotten a lot more close lately. We've been hanging out, going to the gym together. Like we've been seeing each other a lot. And like I've been telling Damien like, bro, like this business shit, when you get to this point where I'm at, I feel like it's like a spiritual battle.
Yes.
Like I don't know how else to
I'm
explain
glad
it. It's
he's
a psychological
getting around you
thing.
more. He needs to be around more like-minded individuals.
Absolutely.
He has to. That's the only way he's going to be able to stay pushing the narrative and pushing the envelope to a higher level. You know, that's good. I love to hear that.
Just like I do as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think we both had that realization that like, damn, we don't really got a lot of people. Like me and Jake talked about the same thing all the time. Like we don't really got a lot of people.
It gets lonely.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. But well, and when we come kind of back around to this, I'll talk about some of my mentors and stuff too, because that's also been what's completely changed my life in the last year and a half. Like it's the people I've surrounded myself with. But to answer the music video question, so circling back around to this, the music video thing was like, yeah, because I was doing everything. And I did go all in on music videos. At some point, I was like pretty much good on everything else. I used to do the weddings, and actually that was my main income source, I would say, overall, was doing wedding videos.
Even back then?
Back when I lived in Kansas from 17 to 19 years old, like before I moved, weddings were probably the main income source. They probably rivaled music videos, but I did like 4 times as many music videos. So
gotcha.
If that gives you a kind of a understanding. But, you know, that was how I was able to save up to buy the red camera and everything. Like, we're doing weddings and everything else, but weddings definitely made a lot. Hey, look, speak of the devil.
He's here to defend himself, guys.
He heard us talking shit, bro.
Right.
But
this is for videographers only in here.
Dude, the Viking power really worked when you text him and told him?
He said, I tapped into my Viking power.
What's up? Hey, you know when motherfuckers be talking shit, the motherfucker walk in and talk, hey, how's it going?
No, I knew he was coming.
Well, buddy, it's been forever.
Nah, I needed him here so you could see how the fuck a live production looks. No, I'm not even talking shit. He knows it. No, it's real shit.
Hey, come on the camera real quick. Show this fit. It's kind of fresh. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, no, he did walk in.
Hey, nigga kind of walked in. Hey, come on.
yeah, you probably can't see shit from there. Go behind.
Yeah, you gotta come back here.
No, you good. You can. I mean, you can't see the shoes, but
that's all good.
No, put your shoe on the desk,
Nah,
nigga.
that's Peyton Lewis. So
Hey, that motherfucker look like you finna go shoot a video, nigga, but not behind the camera, in front that bitch.
All right, but
back to
my
our
bad.
shit. All right.
Yeah, you're good.
Music videos.
This nigga said, "Speak of the devil." Like, nigga, we was all shook. Who the fuck?
Hey, we were talking shit. yeah, fair enough. I don't even remember what we were talking about. Just
Music videos
and stuff. Yeah, but just like the transition of when I focused really heavily on music videos, it did happen more so when I moved to LA because all my like income sources and clients that I had disappeared. Yeah, they're all gone.
It was sink or swim.
Yeah, it was sink or swim. That's the thing too. Like when you move to a place, you're basically restarting. Like you might have a little portfolio, but you're only one step ahead of just starting.
Yeah.
Every time you move, like that's pretty much the case. Like Jake and I kind of experienced that. And when I was doing more music videos, I would say the thing that really projected me into music videos was really like my I guess experience with Dax. You know, because I did all his videos when he was doing poetry, and then when he started doing music, obviously, I just did all his videos. Yeah. I was kind of like, that was like probably my majority of what I was doing for music videos was basically doing all of his videos, and they were a lot more like run and gun, quick stuff, just getting videos out there. But like that was my first experience from making videos that are getting like high amounts of views. You know, my first like 1 million views, and then 10, and you know whatever like. That was all through Dax, and you know, and
that's how I found out about you.
Yeah, right. That's how most people would know of me in the music video space. Like I have worked with some other artists that are, you know, of a similar caliber, but he was definitely the person who I kind of like grew with.
And
you know,
I would say he really took it to that fucking level. Like shout out Dax, he really took it to the highest level. And I've always told Crim like, yo, his work ethic is on a different
love him or hate him, you know. Level. I know like a lot of people feel some type of way, and that's whatever about him. And I don't know him enough to feel no type of way. I just know what, you know. We've done a few songs together. I've seen obviously his growth from the beginning to what he is now, and the dude is like the work ethic is just unmatched.
But
bro.
I think that goes without saying. Like you were a part of that work ethic. You put in thousands of hours with him, like you said, on the run and gun.
Yeah.
Young, learning on the go, you know, with him. Like, and you both found success in those moments that really molded both of you guys into who you are today.
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely, I know for a fact that I was a big part of it because it was the consistency in the content, but I also have to say, like probably being someone who, you know, not now, but I mean, how you talked to me, you know, 3-4 years ago, whenever it was, I was one of the closest people to him.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, his work ethic is absolutely insane. Like insane. Like I've never in my life seen someone who like I look back on it now and it's like he honestly was like a role model to me in the sense that
as
like
far as work,
dude never unplugged. He was always working. He was consistent in everything he did. I mean, the dude's in great shape.
and still,
dude's in great shape, still doing what he's doing. Like everything about him he was actually a very consistent person.
yeah.
He was a bit all over the place at times, but that's what being an artist I think is.
Mm-hmm.
It's like going with the ebbs and flows of whatever comes to your brain. But like, yeah, you know, people can say what they will. You know, they can say he was corny, this and that, and like, you know, I definitely like when I got away from working with him, it was definitely like I didn't love the direction things were going, but it's like you can't help but respect how hard the dude works and still works to this day.
Yes.
He's actually huge now.
Huge.
He's huge. I didn't know.
Huge.
I recently like went and looked at his Spotify and shit, and I was like, oh my God. Like,
No,
Bro,
he's dumb
huge. Like,
in a weird way though. Like not
yeah, it's
like in the country space and like
Yes.
certain things like that.
yes,
but
he blew up country.
he
like, I think
pivoted
it's beautiful
crazy.
to see
Yeah,
the pivot.
yeah.
but
like,
but the thing is, you go look. I'm like, bro, like this is a really stupid example, but maybe you guys. But do you guys ever know the band Dragon Force? Like Through the Fire and the Flames from Guitar Hero 3. That's
I
how they
fucks
got
with
there.
Guitar Hero.
You already
yeah.
know. So Dragon Force, I don't know how big of a band they were. They're obviously older, but like I go look and I'm like, Dragon Force has a song on Guitar Hero 3. They were like world renowned for that, right? Dax is like 10 times the amount of following they do, and I'm like I was like looking at that, I was like, it's kind of fucked up. Like I don't know how I feel about that, but like not like nothing on Dax. I just
No,
Dragon Force is fire.
dude,
But anyway,
Yeah, right.
but no, like,
right.
y'all want some background music to work? I'll get you going. But anyway, so that's like caffeine in your ears. But that was just a real weird example. But like he's really really grown, and his consistency within his music and within his like it wasn't just music though. I mean, the dude was messaging back fans constantly. Like when I went on tour with him and Tech Nine and like Chris Calico and a few of those guys. I mean, this was years into this.
yeah.
He was already doing well, and he was messaging back fans on Instagram. He's always plugged in. But we could talk about him all day. He's someone who I really do have a lot of respect for, and like we kind of ended on like weird terms. But we've talked since then. Like I've FaceTimed with him a few times. It's probably been a couple years since I talked to him now, but
It's all good.
it's all good. And
It's
like
beautiful
one of
to
those things
see
where
the way both of you guys have went, because both of you guys have literally went vertically up since you split too. So I mean, I think that makes a statement of the success you guys were able to find together, but then shows how great both of you guys are individually, because you've been able to split and both of you guys have still been able to take it to a high level of success.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, he's done great. He's continued to grow, and in our period of time, like what we were doing, and I think this is like something that I can share with people is like when you got the winning horse, go all in. You know, I got lucky. Like let's be real, I got kind of lucky.
I mean, luck sometimes plays a part in this, but luck don't work without work.
Well, luck also don't work without the right skills. So I don't even like to use the word luck, and I think anyone who's ever achieved anything, like that shit's insulting.
Yes.
But there is a piece of chance within this space that we have to admit.
Destiny, whatever you want to call it.
But like the thing is though, had he came to me and I not had the skills and not been able to keep up, I would have been gone.
Exactly.
I was doing at some point 3-4 videos in a day with him. We would go out and shoot 10 videos in a week, and I was just pumping them out. Like I'm in school. Like I'm in school. I got other clients. I'm doing weddings. The consistency on my end is what allowed me to stay in that position for over 3 years. We worked together for 3 years. Like I did his first music video up till when he's doing 10 million, 20 million views. Like for years.
That reminds me of one of my favorite quotes by Les Brown. It says, "It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared." You know, and so you were prepared for an opportunity, even if you didn't have one. You was, you know,
and that's why you got.
And then when the opportunity came, you didn't have to get ready because you stayed ready. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's an important key to this too. Like you said, like, yeah, luck, whatever. But if you didn't have the skills, it wouldn't have been luck. You would have been X'd out quick and replaced. Like you were ready for an opportunity. And when that opportunity came, however God was going to give it to you, whether it was Dax, whether it was whoever, just in your story, it was Dax. But when God presented that opportunity to you, you was ready. So, yeah.
No, you're right. And that's my viewpoint on luck as well. It's like, I think it all comes down to, when the opportunities arise, you need to have the skills already ready, like instead of waiting, like you said. So I agree with you. But yeah, to continue on with the music videos, like that was really kind of my main focus, was honestly doing stuff for Dax. But when I moved out to LA, we actually didn't work together for a while. And the reason why we moved out to LA, very quick backstory on that, was we went to LA during the summer of when I graduated high school. We visited out there. We did like 3 videos, and I was instantly like, yeah, I need to be here. Yeah. Like Dax he was planning on moving, and I was like, yeah, I need to be here. Like I had so many people that come up to me and ask me about work and business cards and stuff. Funny, because it definitely was like way harder than it was here. Like I, for some reason, thought it would be easier because there's more opportunity, but you know, way more competitive, obviously. But when I was visiting and everything, we got a little bit of a taste of it. And this was in like August or September of 2017. By January, I moved. And
that's like right on the global hustle time frame. Bro, exactly.
Time frame.
Like to the T.
Crazy. Actually, we're a year ahead. We went to LA 2016.
Okay, yeah.
And then moved to Denver 2017.
Gotcha.
But we got our first taste of LA in December 2016 in the industry and all that. And was like, this is where the fuck we gotta be.
Yeah. It's funny how that LA do that to you.
Yeah.
It's inspiring seeing them palm trees. I swear. Yeah. I think there's something in a palm tree, bro.
Yeah.
no, Peyton got to LA and was like, nah, I thought he was finna go crazy. He's like, yeah.
You hate it?
I'm not a fan of LA. I don't like California. Yeah, he don't fuck with LA.
You a mountain boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's respectable.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy though? Where I live, bro, I get the palm trees and the mountains.
Yeah.
Well, LA got the mountains.
Yeah, it's got it.
Fuck this nigga.
Yeah, no, LA, man, it's
LA
funny.
is like such an interesting place. I feel like, because I don't know about you guys. How long did you guys live there for?
Just a year, but we were like in and out. We had one of our partners, Amy. She was out there. She had her own spot. So like even when we weren't living there, we
had
always,
a bedroom at her house.
Like. Okay. We just always would post. She used to like Airbnb. She had a big ass spot actually
back then. Yeah,
it was like big as fuck. Like it looked like a duplex or a triplex in that bitch. It was like this long hallway with all these bedrooms and shit. Actually, it looked like a fucking mental institution. Now that
I actually lived there,
but we had like a room all the time.
I've
so
been
we
there
were always
a lot longer than just 1 year. He spent only a year.
Okay,
but I've been there off and on 4.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
I got real acclimated to LA.
Yeah.
I'm in LA now for anyone watching.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I was just gonna say, like, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on it. I think Jake and I spoke about this. It's like I have a love for LA, but it was the most brutal time of my life. Yeah. It was the hardest time of my life, like easily.
It's sink or swim out there. It was sink or swim.
Man, you know, Absolutely. We hear that a lot about when people move to LA. Like that's a universal thing. You know, we had it was good while it was good, but man, when it got bad, boy, it was depressing.
Yeah.
I
think there's a number of reasons, but I look back on it now. It's another big aspect of it though is like my lifestyle and the things that I've adjusted. Well, I say that, but like I was halfway adjusted into that when I moved to LA. Like, you know, growing up, I was like, you know, didn't really care about my health and stuff. And then when I got into LA, I was by myself. Because the thing is, I moved out there by myself. I moved out there with a guy I knew from here named Caleb. Shout out to Caleb. But I met him one time, like on a shoot. Like we didn't know each other.
Yeah.
So he was already out there. I moved out there with him. And it was extremely lonely, especially because I was like literally nocturnal. I was editing all night and then I was sleeping during the day. So I didn't talk to nobody. I didn't see nobody. I was just working constantly. And now I got rent to pay. I never had rent to pay. I was living in my parents' basement when I started out.
And you're paying LA rent.
Yeah,
LA
you
rent.
didn't get to
First
come
time.
up in some Wichita rent.
No. Yeah. And I also had no actual income. It was all from videos. To this day, that's something that it's kind of bizarre to me. I have lived off of my camera
Since
or
you
video
turned 18.
since I turned 18. Like I've never had a real job before.
I think that's a testament to
That's
why
awesome.
the fuck you're having so much success off of a camera at 25, bro. Like, because literally you've locked in and you haven't pivoted. I mean, you've pivoted within the
many
camera
times
space,
with the
but like,
camera though.
but you ain't pivoted away from using a camera. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You've continuously said, I'm gonna eat from this camera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you put the camera down, pick up some golf clubs or something. I'm gonna try these golf club pivot, you know. No, it was like a oh shit. I just called this nigga out, huh?
Nah, I'm playing. You're gonna go golf, dude.
He's like, no, it's a hobby. It's a hobby.
Patty's the golf.
Hey.
No, my bad. Hey, honestly, I did no research. That was straight freestyle.
Hey, we just had the golf sim open up. Okay, calm down.
Yeah.
He's
Yo,
like,
Jake, you had your
Jake
mic
looking
over
around like, who the fuck told this motherfucker something about me? No, that was freestyle, dog.
No, I mean, you're right, but it's funny how little I actually use cameras now. But we'll get
Because
into
you
that.
delegated so much. Yeah.
That's also just like in the name of the game. Like that's where what you were saying how Diontae went so hard into music, right? And you were like he kind of passed you in that sense. Jacob's the same way when it comes to like cameras. Like when it comes to like filmmaking, color grading, all that kind of stuff, same thing. Jacob passed me. Like he'd be telling me about these new cameras. I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this. Because I really pivoted into, business and like, the structures and the systems and delegating and like all the businessy crap, right? Jacob has kept his head down and focused on filmmaking and has become a master at that. So like we now like pairing together, we're better.
Yeah.
I was
better
just about
without
to
each-
say
like,
that.
better than without each other.
And I feel like me and Pac now, like with how our dynamic is, we're stronger than we've ever been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I think when we first got together, like all I brought to the table was a dope 16 I could spit. And all he was bringing to the table was a bag for some marketing. But then we really like,
and didn't even know how to market.
yeah, he just brought a bag.
Just a bag.
Yeah, we didn't know where to put it, but we spent that
No Diddy.
motherfucker. No Diddy, dog.
Going with the win. Yeah.
But yeah, and so now just with all like the pivoting we've done and knowledge we've gained, like we're such a powerhouse now with like the real estate and the music business, digital real estate and everything that we're doing. And we're actually after this podcast, we're shooting up to Solano we got 2 multifamily properties where we're remodeling and like just that.
We're
that
making content about that shit today.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why-
gonna be
That's why
dope.
Peyton's with us. We're about to
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
make content today.
And it's going. That's
gonna be
dope.
fire, too.
And I just love like you said with you and Jake, like you guys have continued to grow, and I think that's what's really really good about a partnership. Like you got Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. They did different things, and that's why they won 2 3-peats. You know what I mean? Because I don't feel like it works if you have another Jordan or another Pippen. Like Jordan had to be that powerhouse scorer, and Pippen did everything else. He was like the LeBron before LeBron.
Yeah, y'all were Jordan and Pippen,
Yeah, and
In
so
the
that's
wedding game.
yeah, that's important. Like for real, you need someone that's gonna go put up 50 a night, and you need someone that's gonna guard the best scorer on the other team and get rebounds and do all that shit. That shit's important. You know what I mean? Play good defense. So. Yeah, the dynamic's great. So I love to hear that about you too. You guys are really dope people, man. Ever since I met y'all, I've loved watching you guys grow. No Diddy. Hey, we need a compilation, dog. We say some real fruity shit.
He's probably so lost with the no Diddy, so he don't be on socials or nothing like that.
Yeah, it's like pause now. Like
Diddy's getting like super canceled, all that right now, and everyone's coming out with gay allegations and all this shit.
This nigga almost said gay-alizations.
Now it's pop culture today to say no Diddy instead of no homo.
Oh no,
Yeah.
this poor dude.
Right.
No.
No, shout out Diddy though.
Shout
like,
out Diddy,
I
man.
don't
We don't.
know. Yeah,
He's
we don't
innocent.
know,
He's
like,
innocent until proven
exactly,
guilty. You
and
know,
I'll never
I'd
put
hate for a
opinion or
motherfucker.
judge.
Like, think about that. A motherfucker accuse you of some shit and it was actually false. We
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah,
know.
We won't know until
I mean,
it comes out.
It's leaning more
AI.
towards.
Exactly.
AI.
Exactly.
You know how many people are gonna get some fake shit on them?
Yes,
in this
because
next
of
30
AI,
years?
especially
Face swaps.
deep
Someone
fake
just
videos.
did. You know the Bobby chick, the podcast Bobby
Yeah,
girl.
she got fake leaks put out.
Yeah, it was like a
Yep.
fake.
Yeah.
Nudes.
I heard that's happened to a lot of like celebrities and stuff.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
I seen an Oprah nude. I was like, damn, Oprah bad. And it was an AI. I'm like, this some bullshit. Nigga, I done nutted,
Oh, no, he out of pocket. Nigga out of pocket. He always gonna be out of pocket though.
Oops.
We got to get to that pivot though.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
yeah.
gotta
Let's
get to
touch
the
that pivot.
because this shit is so monumental what you're building, and I think we're catching you early.
Yeah.
So like in 5 to 7 years.
And so
we're gonna
now
look
you're
back
reaping the
on this shit.
benefits of the stay down.
Yeah,
Because
you've learned how to come up.
So now we got the stay down.
Yeah.
Now you coming up right now.
I don't feel like
it's still
sometimes,
stay. I guess
but
You're
you
yeah.
still stay. Yeah, he's still.
See, I
that's
mean-
the beautiful thing of like staying down.
Because you always got
never
to stay
quit
down. Yeah.
staying
Yeah,
down.
no.
Even when you come up, what do you say in the song? Stay down and get you some money.
Yeah. Come up and get some more money.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
like you come up, then you gotta you just
Because-
gotta keep repeating the process, and you just have to keep going. That's because the come up never quits.
Yeah, I mean, Mo's a great example of that. Like, he's super successful, but he's staying down now to grow it. You know, he might have
And
10,
they'll-
20
they will
million.
have seen
He's
that
trying to
episode
get
by then,
he's
too,
trying to
so.
get 100 million.
Exactly.
And when you get 100, you're trying to get 250. You know what I mean? So
You're
it's
still
just,
on
you're
the
always
stay
gonna be
down,
staying
but
down.
but you learned how to come up
Yeah.
from a camera, and now you're pivoting to the business side.
Yeah.
To like really build a foundation that you can eat off of forever. Rather, if you're
Yeah.
holding a camera in your hand or someone else's, you're eating from that camera, right?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
I mean, yeah.
and
No,
that's
you're right. I mean, it's like the first stages of it. And, I actually, without going too far ahead of myself, so what I've been doing, pivoting, transitioning into now, I mean, I'm skipping one. So obviously, yes, we went into weddings.
Yeah.
And not just like, all right, cool, I'm going to film weddings again. Like last year, we had 25 teams around the country.
25
teams around the country. Yeah.
shooting weddings.
We don't anymore because it's a very long story. Profit margins were shit. Quality control was shit. Lots of things. We kept like 4 of them. And then Jake does the lead for like the Midwest shooting. And so we really focus on like small quantity of people, high quality, high end, like high prices.
Pick
We were
the
charging,
market
we were
and
charging
target
like
it.
half of what we were last year. Now we're charging like double. So yeah, so basically what I did is turn everything I knew about how to shoot weddings into a system, how to shoot it, how to edit it. So I don't film very many weddings. I still go to some of them. It's still a great time, still fun to be at. Last year I didn't do as many because I was so busy like building that. This year I might do a little bit more, but me and Jake have kind of like, it's like I got Jake. It's like Jake's as good of a replacement as anyone could be. Yeah. Like for me, like he does things that I have never done. He brings stuff to the table that I've never done. So it's like
this nigga blushing. Though.
Like the reality of it is that like when my so the thing is, so I built an editing team too. So I don't edit either. So I built an editing team. I work very closely with them, but I haven't edited a wedding video in like a couple of years.
It's amazing.
And
shout out Ton.
And shout out to Ton because the thing is it's the same thing. I legitimately think better than I am at editing weddings now. Because I trained him. I mean, like I joke about this. I implanted my brain into his.
Yep.
We sat down for 3 hours at a time for months of me showing, like literally editing a wedding in front of him, saying, I'm doing this because of this. I taught him. And a big thing about delegation and growing a company with people is all about the vision and the why behind it. That's what I learned. It's actually incredible that you don't actually have to tell people as much what to do, but why to do it. And they will then realize they will then realize
That's
what
a
they need to
bar.
Bar.
do. But it's
Talk
true.
to him, Thad. Wait a minute.
That's why I
was
knew we had to have this.
that
'cause,
was
like,
nice. That was nice. It's
the
not about the what,
information
it's the
you're
why.
learning and know.
Yeah.
You could teach us a lot. You know.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it's interchangeable within different businesses. Because a lot of
Yes.
the things you say, I automatically apply it to like our wholesaling business, you know, and
Yeah.
like the why, you know, instead of just the what, you know. And I've coached so many people, and I think if I would have came with the approach of why I do things instead of what I do, it would have registered more, you know.
Damn.
Well, because what it is instead of instructions, it's a framework. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Write this the fuck down.
Picture.
But it's basically a way to think, so that way they can then ask the question of, does this align with our brand? So within the editing space, like we've done it on both sides. The filmmaking side of things, I haven't had to be quite as strategic because I'm blessed with people like Jake, who really I just went to the wedding. He would go to the weddings with me, and I would just show him, hey, so do this here, do this here. Then we swap places, and I'd say, you're the lead now. I'm the second today, and I'm over his shoulder like, do this. And, you know,
Taught him how to do everything.
we were
you
able
can
to do a little bit less systemizing things. With the editing, it's extremely systemized because, so last year as well, because again, we scaled up and then we scaled down, and not in terms of necessarily scale inside of like revenue. We've kept the revenue the same, but we've cut down the complexity and just grown the profit basically.
Because scaling up too fast could literally crumble a company.
It almost did.
Because if
It
you
almost
ask me, you're building on lack of foundation.
Yes.
If you actually build the foundation first, then scale up. If anything ever falls at the top, you still have the foundation laid. Yeah. You can rebuild. But if you don't have that foundation completely laid down and shit crumbles, that foundation's going too.
Yep. There was, I don't actually remember where this came from. I heard it from Charlie Morgan, which is a 25-year-old entrepreneur making about $1 million a month right now.
Wow.
He, I think, heard this from somewhere else. So I don't know where it came from. When you scale a business, you scale the systems, but you also scale the problems inside of it. So how many, let's say you have 1 in 100 of your customers that are absolutely pissed and you like give them a really bad time. If you do 300 per year, now you have 3. So you're scaling problems. And more than likely, actually, you're probably going to up the percentage as well because complexity. Yeah. So that is something that I had to learn. And yes, we were in a place where we scaled before we should have. Now I'm really building the foundations. Like, yes, I had systems and things like that, but there was a lot of holes.
Yeah.
And Jacob and I we have a lot of work to do with systemizing some of this stuff. Some of the shooting side of things, we haven't cared to systemize quite as much. I think maybe it's more systemized than we realize. We just don't have as many documents and training videos and stuff as I do for the other side of the business. But it's because we work with the same people. So there's not as much need for it. But in the sense of like, if we do want to scale up and shoot more, we need better systems. I'm just, again, fortunately, I have a great team that has really made it easier on the shooting end. But so basically we tried to scale too quickly and the profit margins were abysmal. I mean, like, just to give you a frame of reference, like 2022, it took me 7 full years to break 6 figures.
Yes.
7 years.
Yep.
Like that was my goal. I was just, oh man, 6 figures. Like it was just like, it was my goal. In 2023, we were spending 6 figures.
Yeah.
Like that's our expenses.
Spending.
No, recurringly. That does not include contractors.
Yeah.
Remember, my business is ran on contractors. We don't have employees. That was just recurring expenses. Like at one point I had a sales guy, so I did have some recurring expenses there, but softwares, subscriptions, like team members and stuff who were technically, I don't count them as contractors because they were recurring. Like no matter what we did, they're getting paid.
Yeah.
Whereas like our shooters, they're getting paid per project, right? Editors, same thing. Anyway, we're spending $8,000 a month, $9,000 a month.
You look at that and
I
you're
was
like,
just like,
holy shit.
And the thing is it's not like that should not be the goal, obviously. Like when you look at that, like I look back on that now, we're spending less than half that, I'm pretty sure now. Like I've been redoing our finances and stuff. And I'm just like, there are ways that you can grow without just adding on expenses. And I had to learn that the hard way. But also, I'm glad I did that because now I have the experience of hiring a sales guy and training. Like again, implanting my brain into someone else's. Sales was the last thing that I ever imagined I would, hire off. And it didn't really work out because the business was not in the place for it. And in fact, I'm extremely blessed that it didn't work out because we would have broke it. Again, the amount of volume you need in order for that's an unfortunate lesson inside business is if your business is not large enough to handle a salesperson. So easy math. Most sales guys want to make around 6 figures a year.
Yeah.
And most sales guys get paid 10%. So you need to be making about 80 grand a month in order to sustain a salesperson, or you can pay them like 12% and maybe you can make like 60, 70. But you're still doing at least $500,000-$600,000 a year minimum.
From the
you
money they're bringing in.
From the money that they're bringing in for that in order for them to stay.
Exactly.
So and that's why sales is the hardest thing to hand off, because the business has to have these certain parameters and metrics hit in order for you to bring a salesperson in, because their performance will never be as good as yours as the founder of the business. Ever. It's not possible.
Yep, absolutely.
So that's
because then they just start their own business if they're that fire,
Right. Well, I mean, they just have to sell though. They don't have to deal with the rest of the 90%. But you're right. You're right. So no, it's not even about skill. It's just that the founder naturally has more. You have more authority because you built the business.
Yeah.
You will always have the most authority no matter what it is. Anyway, that was a tangent. I don't exactly know where we were going except for the pivot. And basically, I was just going to share like the weddings. We scaled the wedding thing up. And honestly, like I'm happy to say that like with all the teams we worked with last year, not a single person was like unsatisfied with the results. Not a single person. We had some problems, but it was actually our internal teams. And that's a whole story in itself. But
I got a question though. Where did you catch the vision to take this business to a different level and say, you know what, I want to be removed from holding the camera and being in the field, and I want to be behind the scenes, and I'm going to go make 20 of me. Where did you catch that vision? Was there inspiration? Did you meet somebody? Did somebody put that bug in your ear that like, yo, you could actually make a lot more money if you get 20 people holding cameras and you're conducting it?
Or does that kind of go into what you were talking about, the mentor and the people you started being around? Did they kind of help you with that?
So,
because it's highly interesting for me to see your transition from I'm going to get away from music videos. I'm going to start shooting weddings.
And then I'm going to just pass the camera off to all these people I'm training.
Weddings, and I'm going to build a wedding company. I'm going to build a wedding business.
Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly trying to trace back the thought patterns. So one thing that I have done, and I think where the idea I got of in terms of like, a lot of it started from I've invested a ton of money into courses and mentorships. Like that's where I've spent the most money in the last 2 years. I now clocked it at just after last month. We just spent 80,000 on courses and mentorships.
Total?
Yeah, I just spent another 10 about a couple weeks ago with a new mentor. Super, super excited. Like that is where I found, I used to dump money into equipment. Now I dump money into knowledge and education.
Yeah.
And that is an invaluable skill because you get to then pay people to literally give you everything that they have. And because you're paying them, like people are pretty damn open about everything that you need to know.
Because you paid them.
You paid them money and they will give you the systems that they've done. It's basically the fastest way to grow. And that's the reason why we exploded. Like this is a very quick story that I want to share. Just I want people to know that progress is not linear. I don't say this to brag. I say this because I want people to know what's possible. 7 whole years it took me to get to 6 figures. And when it did, it happened in 2 months.
Sound familiar?
In 2 months.
Does that sound familiar? Last episode. If you just watched the last episode.
Wow.
There's a familiar situation. Our last episode with Mo.
Yeah, it was the same kind of thing.
It took him 3 years to get to the point of making, he was making about $5,000 a month, he said. And within 90 days, he went from getting $5,000 a month offers to $100,000, $120,000 a month offers.
Yeah.
But it took him 3 years to get to
more.
that point.
I mean, if you consider the whole time he was just staying there, because the 7 years you're talking about is when you were in the very beginning.
Yeah. I mean, you include everything from the beginning, like all his lessons and failures and shit like that. It took him
But it
long
was
time
like
too,
you
but-
said, he was just building up that 5K, and then out of nowhere, like you said, you were working so hard to get this 6 figures.
And,
And
you
that
know
was
what's funny is like
yeah.
all I ever wanted was a fat check from
Yeah.
music too. Like I'm striving to get that one big check, and obviously I'm still waiting and working. Not waiting. I'm still working for that life changing moment. But I finally got what I wanted from music, just on the smaller level, and it took me 5 years.
Yeah.
It took me 5 years
Of staying
of
down.
staying down and learning. But then once that it hit, like you said, Damien started to catch. I knew what to do this time. From February, when I seen the song was starting to catch, to us actually doing the marketing and all that, I seen my first 6-figure check within 4 months.
Wow.
Come back.
Wow.
Its similarities
Yeah,
are
there's
crazy
some-
to success.
Yeah, there's
something
it
to staying down.
Success leaves breadcrumbs, man.
Yeah,
You know?
right. And then when when it hits, you know, like that. It's just crazy, the similarities in that shit.
So you said 2 months, bow, it's up, shit good.
And you know what? Another crazy example, because I was in my early stages, I was reading and educating myself, and I still do. I've spent probably 40 to 50,000 on mentorships and coaching and education on the music business myself. 2 things. I was reading Jay Prince's book, and he literally has a chapter called 7 Years. And he talks about how it took him 7 years before they caught their first break within the music business. So when I started Global Hustle with Crim, I already had in my head, be prepared for at minimum 7 years, but it might take me 10. So I was ready to already do the race for 7 to 10 when it happened with Damien, on year about 5. But
Yeah.
another thing, like you said, with the education and investing into education and mentorships. When I met with Steve LaBelle for the first time, he charged us a fat penny to mentor and coach me. And the thing he said was, look, you can't put a price on my network. And that shit stuck with me because that stands out the most. You cannot put a price on a mentor or a coach's network.
Yeah.
You might give them 10,000 and they might introduce you to somebody that you make 200,000 with. Or that person or that you gave the 10,000 to gives you the information that you go make $1 million with.
Well, look how many opportunities we got from, paying Steve for the mentorship.
And still.
Yeah.
Like I can hit Steve tomorrow and be like, hey, OG, I'm in LA. What's good? Pull up. Actually, he just called me the other day. It was like, hey, let's grab dinner. When I was in LA, I had text him. He has a studio. Steve always keeps a studio.
Keeps a studio, boy.
I can hit him, pull up. He'll be like, yeah, just go there, tell him I sent you, not charge me $1 for the studio time. Still
Noted.
to this day,
Noted. Wait a minute. Hold on. Nigga forgot to relay that to me. I heard that.
Still to this day, though, like
Yeah.
you can't put $1 on his network, and you know that plays such a big role in getting to where you are, is paying for the education, but also the access.
Yep.
And you did that.
Yeah.
$80,000 on education and mentorships.
Yep.
Yeah.
30. I will say 30 of it was an absolute complete waste, but that is a whole other story. I say that, but not really.
It's a lesson.
I say that, but yeah, I paid 30 grand to realize I didn't need to pay the 30 grand, but I actually did learn some really great things from that program. That was the most expensive program I ever bought. The issue with it was more so for coaches and consultants, and I was not a coaching consultant. Why the hell I bought it, that's a whole other story. But I did use some things from it and still will in the future. So, I spent an absolute ton of money on mentorships, on coaching. And when I was first getting into, starting to invest in programs, because that's the thing, like when you said you're coming up now, it's like, because I ruthlessly invest all the money that I make into the business or into learning more, it never feels like I've made it. But, getting into that, I guess I'll touch on that in a second, but I did get the idea of what associate teams were, which is what they call basically teams that shoot weddings and stuff. I got the idea through a program that I took, and I think I knew about it. Well, I say that, but we were already doing it. Like now that I look back on it, when you asked me how we started, so we've been doing the team thing since before I invested maybe I bought like a program or two, but it had nothing to do with that. So when I was in LA, I had some people hit me up for weddings. And so my second shooter at the time, I was like, hey, do you think you can do this? You shot like 100 weddings with me. You think you can do this? He's like, yeah. He shoots the wedding, sends me the footage. I edit the wedding. So that was when we first got the taste of it.
That's when you first realized,
planting that seed.
Yeah, that's when we first got the taste of it. And I was editing. And then I trained that same guy on editing as well.
Yeah.
So I kind of forget about that phase as well, because I had him shooting and editing for me. Yeah, I had him shooting and editing for me. And the reason why I did that, though, was not to scale. It was to save my time so I could do music videos and so I could do the other stuff.
Time,
save his time.
It was just to save my time. Like, I didn't plan on building that into a business. Then I pivoted like 3 times in a really short period of time, which is really just shiny object syndrome. But, so I was doing music videos, and then I was like, I know there was a marketing agency. Was there anything else, Jake, you can think of? Was it just the marketing agency? Okay, maybe that was it. So we pivoted into like making a marketing agency where we were going to do like content for brands and then like run ads and stuff for them, which is, again, hilarious because I didn't know shit about marketing. Like, so many people try to start marketing agencies and they don't know how to market themselves.
Yeah.
It's a joke. I did it though. So, a lot of people do. Then all the stuff I was learning about ads and marketing, I started using for our weddings. And that's when it clicked. I was like, wait a second. I can get paid $1,000 a month to shoot content and run all these ads and stuff for these companies, or I can run an ad and make $2,000, $3,000, and we keep it all in house. And I was like,
I'm just going to become a marketing agency for my own company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that was kind of what it turned into. But the funny thing with your guys' story that you were mentioning of like, that the long span and then the boom, like snap and everything comes together. I say 7 years, but the transition from all these things, like when I finally pivoted just doing weddings, like nothing else, that transition of like going from literally being able to barely book a single wedding, so I mean, we're talking like $2,000 a month, to where we were then, that was only like 8-9 months. Because that's the thing. It's like once you have everything in place, things come together very quickly.
Yep.
But to learn how to get things in place, that's where the 7 years before that was.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was January when I fully transitioned out, because I had to get rid of all my old clients, all my old music video clients. Like Damien's video, the Generation Nothing video, was my last music video I did for a long time.
Which Peyton killed the shoot on.
Yep.
Is that the one at the
school?
dirt?
Yeah, you were in it. Yeah.
I was a teacher on that one. Yeah.
That video was actually sick.
Yeah.
That's a sick video. Yeah.
Very sick video. Shit came out dope.
That was like probably that was the biggest production we've ever done in
No,
Wichita.
It felt like we're in Hollywood, bro. Like the school opening the doors
Shout
to
out
us.
Jake getting the whole fucking Derby high school.
No, dude, that's some white shit, nigga. How you get Derby, nigga?
Yeah.
No, bro, he pulled his white privilege the fuck out. Hey, if you got it, flaunt it, bro. Hey, so I get out of speeding tickets when I use my white privilege.
Same.
I might have a little
sir.
color. Yes, sir.
I get it right.
I'll put that kissing 102.1 on, nigga. Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee. Never knew how much the money was. Sir, how you doing?
Turn it down when he comes up. Oh, yeah, what's up? Yeah.
Howdy.
Hey, that's that growing up half white.
Yeah, nigga, I'll turn that
Niggas
white
don't know about that.
I'll turn that white
with howdy and nigga in the same sentence.
Howdy, nigga. That sound wrong, nigga, when you say it like that.
Howdy, nigga. Sound like you just left a plantation.
Right. No, that shit fucked up, actually.
But man, so yeah, we gotta get back on track.
Get off the howdy, nigga.
We actually gotta head to Salina here in the next like 15 minutes too.
Yeah.
But so I want to talk about the pivot you're on now. You've kind of learned. You've had your failures in laying the foundation.
Scale back down.
Mm-hmm.
You're back at the scale down. The
Yep.
foundation is actually getting laid properly now.
Yep.
And I believe you're making 6 figures off this company now in revenue, right?
Mm-hmm.
Multiple six figures.
Yeah.
And on your way to 7 figures for sure, like hands down, because of the information the foundation you're laying. What's the pivot you're talking about that you're doing now that's going to get you to that next level with this?
Yeah, so it's doing what I've spent all my money on. It's coaching.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're going to start coaching people in other places how to build a videographer company for weddings?
Mm-hmm. I have 3 students right now.
Amazing.
So I'm dipping my toe in it.
Yo, shout out to the 3 students. That's awesome, bro. I love to hear that because that's something that we've been talking about too with the real estate. Because so many people reach out to me constantly, like, dude, if I were to show you my DMs, it's just everyone like, hey, as soon as you get a coaching course, hey, as soon as you get, you know. And so we're building something right now. I'm sure you were the same way because you bought that coaching course.
Yep.
And it wasn't what you were doing at the moment.
Yep.
And so I'm sure you can relate on not wanting to drop a coaching course without it being something that really adds value.
Yes.
And so that's kind of what we've been on. Like, we know that eventually we're going to have a really dope coaching course for what we're doing, but we want to make sure it's right. So the fact that you've done everything and you're comfortable, especially a perfectionist like you are,
right?
You're comfortable enough to drop this coaching course. I know you're dropping so much value in it. You know?
Are you like taking only a certain amount of students and building students up, or are you like as many as I can get right now?
So no, this is like fresh.
Yeah.
Like I don't have a program. I'm just doing one-on-one coaching right now. I'm taking on, and I haven't charged anyone $1. I don't want to charge anyone money right now.
Is one of your students in this room today?
No.
They should be.
I don't want to worry about that right now, because the thing is I'm still building the wedding business, and unfortunately I kind of realized over the last week that like I'm dipping my toe a little earlier than I wanted to, but I've been putting this off for a long time. Like, me and Jake have been talking about this for a long time, and the reason why obviously I'm so invested in doing this myself is because that's how I got where I am.
Yeah,
and I'm not saying that as like a way to like convert people. I genuinely mean it. I invested all this money into coaching, and that's why I am where I am. So
money and time. And now that I've done all of that, and I've put all that money into it, I found that it is the most valuable resource that anyone can have to grow. And I don't want people spending 7 years to get there. Yeah.
I like it's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. Like, me knowing what I know now, would I change anything? Absolutely not. But I don't want to watch people go through the pain that I went through.
Yeah. And I like what you said too with not charging people, because what you're really doing is the excuse I just gave on why I don't want to start my coaching program now is because I don't want people to pay me and not get the full amount of value.
Exactly.
You're skipping that excuse and getting started. And so I actually commend you on that, and that actually kind of opened my eyes up. Like, you know what? If I just take on some students right now and just get in the routine and start having some Zooms and start coaching these people and start teaching them. And then as my coaching expertise builds up, so will that price ticket, and that community.
Are you opening it up? Yeah. Are you opening it up for your first official student? You
might
it
be
on camera?
Take like one person on.
Actually,
specific.
But here's the thing. I have. Dude, I have a student in Atlanta. Shout out Omar.
He knows Omar.
Oh, you know Omar. He's made 6 figures off of what I taught him. Yeah. Like, I literally taught him this business.
Here's a beautiful thing. You taught him the business, and he went and learned another pivot.
So one of my pivots now, so what's kept me afloat in 2024 is the surplus funds, which kind of ties into the wholesaling pre-foreclosures, what I was doing. But I taught Omar how to do my whole thing. Like, I gave him the crash course of my coaching course, for free. And in that, he learned how to do the surplus funds. And, just in the first quarter of this year, I've made $50,000 doing something that my student taught me how to do.
That's incredible.
That's crazy.
That's incredible. Yeah.
So, big shout out to Omar. And, so big shout out to you too for like making that switch, because I didn't think of it like you said it, but now it's like, okay, even though I was doing it, I kind of just did it just on love, but like actually doing it with like a setup and like structure. I did have one question before I forget about it, because I'm real forgetful. I smoked too much weed back in my day, so I want to make sure I ask this. But you were saying all this money that you've invested, so much money. For the listeners out there, the people that are watching, do you ever have fear of spending the money? Because a lot of people, with me at least, with the wholesaling, they think it's just like this absolute free thing. It's like this free hustle, in which it can be. But, I am
like spending as far as reinvesting?
Yeah, like the reinvesting and like, your ad spends. Like you're sitting there spending what you said, $7,000, $8,000, or $2,000, $3,000, whatever, to bring in leads. And so like I think that's a real important aspect of it. But do you ever like get cold feet or like maybe at first you were like, oh, I don't want to spend all this until it worked, and then it's just like a no-brainer now? I mean, how does your brain work with reinvesting into your business?
Yeah.
'Cause I know it's scary for a lot of people.
Yeah. No, of course it's scary. Yeah, of course. I mean, you're dumping money. Like you're dumping money. I will say that my relationship with investing and coaching specifically has changed. When I started out, yeah, I was absolutely terrified of it because, and I actually, it's funny because I'm actually so far removed from that version of myself now. Like I just spent another 10K with a mentor like just a couple weeks ago, and and I didn't bat an eye at it. And it was funny because the day before, literally the day before, less than 24 hours, I was talking to my girlfriend about it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to invest any more coaching for a while. I need to like, and I literally the next day spent the money. But it was because it made so much sense. Like I've worked with a lot of coaches. I literally told the dude, I was like, man, I wish I would have found you earlier.
Yeah.
Because it was but I had to go through all the different courses and programs that I got to know why I didn't, or why he was the right one, because he literally calls out, are you doing this, this, and this? Were you taught these things? This is why this don't work. And I was like, shit.
You know what?
He called it out.
Funny you said that. That was Omar for me.
Yeah.
That was Omar for me. Like, you know, I had Omar around, and when Damien's shit didn't work, I kind of got away from even talking to Omar about anything. Actually, no, we were still trying some shit, but like wasn't implementing what he was really, I guess I wasn't picking up what he was putting down. But then the second time around, like I really picked up what he was putting down. And like you said, he called out, he's like, yo, go do this, this, and this. And if you do this, this, and this, then this will happen.
Yeah.
And it worked.
And he was fucking
yeah, he
right.
wasn't
It worked.
bullshitting. Yeah.
I'll give Omar another, hey, don't tax me now, my nigga. I'll give him a whole nother mentor check moving forward with other artists that I signed because
I think Omar has just cemented himself into whatever we're doing.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Like when we
forever
like
I'm forever indebted.
We actually got a surplus funds deal in the pipeline now that should be closing in a little bit. It's gonna be our first surplus deal we've done together.
How much y'all breaking down?
Well, I think the total thing, so we'll each get like 9 bands. It's like 9 or 10,000 on it. Yeah. So
that's fire. So
yeah.
You still got obviously the wedding shit, right? Now you're kind of pivoting. You're doing a little coaching for free.
Yeah.
What point do you see yourself really launching a coaching course, or do you see yourself launching a coaching course, or just being a mentor in the space?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, and just to finish the last thought, but yeah, I used to be really nervous about it. Nowadays, I don't bat an eye at it because I know how much it's worth, and I know what it'll do for me because it's. Yeah. I have a track record now. Like I've spent so much money on it and it's always came back. So I'm confident in that. And with ads, same thing. I will spend money I don't have on ads. I'll use a credit card and spend money I don't even have on ads because I've always made my money back.
Okay.
Always.
We just jumped off that cliff.
We needed to hear that.
The real estate.
Yeah.
So that, you know, we ran up, you know, over $250,000 doing the real estate thing, but now we're like at a spot where we're like, okay, we need inbound leads.
Yeah.
You know, and so
you need ads.
We need ads for those inbounds.
I can share with you guys what I do know about ads. Maybe it can help you guys out. We can talk about it sometime. But yeah, I will say with ads, like historically we've always at least 10x our ad spend or return on ad spend, at our best 30x, and we're in a space where and the cool thing is that. Even if you just spend money, because I've spent money and not return anything, but overall it all levels out.
It's the big picture.
It's the big picture. It all levels out.
And consistent. You got to be consistent with it, huh?
Yep. So I'm a big believer in paid advertising. Funny enough, I have three coaching students. One of them was one of our teams from last year, so that's how I found them. The other 2 are from YouTube organic.
Oh wow!
I just started making YouTube videos. I got 2 already. Content.
And I bet you ain't even doing no crazy views, huh?
Nope. No. The video. So the student I just started working with him a couple days ago.
I love this guy, man.
Video has 50 views.
I love this guy, man. Come on, bro.
No, so right now I'm gonna just like I just have to say this because this is so important. YouTube is the best platform to build a personal brand by far. There's nothing like it. YouTube is the most important because I'm gonna use this example every time. I always tell people this. I said, also artists, I've been on Damien's ass. I said, you need to make a YouTube channel and share the shit you were doing. I got on Ian. He's been making YouTube videos. The reason I said this is This is the difference. I walk by you on the street or elevator. How about this? Elevator. We spend some time in an elevator. What's that conversation look like? Hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, good, man. I'm about to go to the gym. Cool. That's it. You spend 30 minutes together. How's the conversation look? You get to know each other.
Yeah.
That's how you build a personal connection with people.
And a
YouTube
relationship, yep.
YouTube
Is
is
that 30
long-form
minute, yeah.
content. It is literally human psychology. It is incredible. I'm making like videos that are like 10 to 15 minutes right now. And like, yeah, they're not really getting much views. They're really
But
not.
you've
They're
already
not.
got 2 organic students.
2 organic students that have booked calls through my videos that literally don't have that many views. The 2 videos that actually booked me calls, both of them have less than 100 views. Actually, now that I think about
That's
it.
fucking awesome.
Now that-
bro. I'm so glad you squeezed that in, because how many of us post content,
Yep.
it gets 50 to 100 views, and we delete it because we're embarrassed of how low the views are. I've done it. I've seen
I've
it.
done it.
So everyone I know, I've seen do it.
Yeah.
We
Yep.
look at it, like, bro, I could name a laundry list of people that's done it, and I'm just as guilty. But if you would have deleted those videos, oh fuck, this only has 50. You wouldn't
might not
have.
have them
You wouldn't have
suits
locked in.
already.
You wouldn't have. You know what I mean? So
Both-
like,
I want to tell you something funny too. Both of those videos, well, first one I didn't want to post. The second one I actually thought about deleting it a few days before he uploaded
Come
to it.
on.
I'm not joking,
bro, come
Well,
on, bro. That's
so-
what we needed to hear today, bro. That
I
might
hate
be the
that we even
biggest
got to
gym.
cut this shit short because, like, bro, I feel like the
Yeah,
conversation
it's starting to get real.
started.
Yeah,
You know
you
what I mean?
we spent too much time on the backstory, bro.
Yeah,
We
it's
spent too
all
much time on the
good.
We
backstory.
might need a part 2,
Yeah, we
bro.
gonna need a part
Every
2
time
with
we get a
him.
guest,
Yeah, we're gonna end up having to do a part 2.
yeah, no,
for
we need a
sure.
part 2, because I think part 2s are crucial with our guests.
I
Now
agree.
that I think of it, because
Part
there's-
1 gives them an introduction.
Yeah, and then because of what our platform is with staying down,
Yeah.
we're getting the insight of what he's about to stay down with.
Facts.
I want to hear him after staying down with this coaching shit
Facts.
in a year or
Yeah.
2 later, and he's making fucking $1 million a year off a fucking residual coaching program. Because bro, it's possible. Pace Morby is one of the most motivating coaches out there right now. This dude is just
Killing it.
Yeah, I bought his coaching course. Like, just some simple math. He has 12,000 students, bro. And I don't know if all the students paid what I paid, but I paid $7,800 for it.
Okay.
So bro,
Yeah,
that
do the math.
it's crazy.
10 mil?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
roughly.
well shit 12,000. Yeah, 12,000, 7,800.
30, ain't it?
No, that's 93 million, bro.
In revenue, obviously, you
I
got
don't
to
know
think.
where that number came from.
Yeah,
My
so
head.
93 million. Now he got to hold marketing team. Obviously, he didn't pocket that, but even if he pocketed 10% of that, it's $10 million off a
Yeah.
coaching course.
You know, profited a lot more.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, he probably profited by 70%.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least.
So I mean, he's
crazy.
probably ran up like an NBA contract off of coaching. So
coaching.
with the knowledge that you have, the type of person you are, like
it's not just- it's
people
not always
love you
about
when they
money,
know
though.
you.
But
You know
money,
what I mean?
money buys us more time.
Yeah,
It's not
and
about
it's not
money.
about
I
the
wanted
money. He's
to
doing
put
it for
that out.
free.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He's doing it for free right now.
Obviously, money isn't.
But
yeah.
when you come back and tell that come up story,
Yeah.
we're gonna be talking about the millions.
Yeah.
now, you know,
Yeah.
because money isn't everything, but money is a tool we need to buy the time.
Yeah.
Time
look,
is everything.
Check this out. When you get your shit running like that, I want the rose gold rollie with the green face.
I
Green
remember
face,
that.
41 size. You know what I mean? Date.
This nigga always got to.
Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, old
Day-Day,
P-Dub
nigga.
gonna stay back there now.
He like, no,
Hey.
fuck that part too.
Man, real quick though, I wanted to just tell you again, thank you. Like, truly appreciate. Outside
Absolutely.
of coming on here today and talking about everything and giving all this gems and diamonds that you are
Yeah.
to anyone watching, thank you for everything you've done for us. Like I said, we wouldn't be here. Stay down till you come up wouldn't be a thing if it wasn't for you. You made
Yeah.
that happen for us.
And we
You
never
pushed
really
us off that
we,
ledge.
We talked about this a lot. Like, we never shouted you out, and like we're like, damn, we never shouted that out. So you didn't ask for it either.
Yeah, no,
But like, you did so much for us. Like, we felt like, yo,
We got.
we need to show this guy some love, because he didn't just come and do some little shit, bro. You did a lot, bro. Spent literally so much time with
Time is everything.
Time.
And you gave us
Time is very valuable.
you
So
know.
big shout out. I'm glad we were able to do a whole episode and really, give you your flowers, you know what I mean, in front of the world. So big
I look
shout out to
forward
you, bro.
Part 2.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have a A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
There's a lot of transitioning about to happen.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I can't wait till we double back and get to talk about more in depth of the transition.
Oh yeah,
It's gonna be dope.
I got to add this last piece in.
Please do.
So, and to answer your question, yeah, I'm doing the one-on-one coaching to figure out what the hell I'm doing. And the first, like, I'm not gonna lie, the first 2 coaching calls I did, it felt like shit. I was like, I don't know if I want to do this.
Yeah.
I had a call just on Wednesday, and I was like, okay, all right, I'm starting to get the hang of this a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to feel a little better. I'm gonna build a program around what people need. So I'm kind of like learning that right now and kind of trying to systemize it. But I'm doing the pivot.
Yeah.
My lease is over in May. I'm going back into the parents' basement.
Yeah.
So I can go.
Oh,
so I go
yeah.
in.
Yeah.
Stay the
in.
fuck down.
Yeah.
Down there. Cut
'Cause
all overhead expenses. I'm going
Yep.
all money in.
That was the realization I had is part of the wedding business, having to do certain things, book things at certain prices just to maintain a lifestyle that I quite frankly don't give a shit about.
Hello.
Like I'll be
You
honest.
don't give a fuck to impress anybody.
I don't care.
Yeah.
The thing is, I'm glad I did all the things I did. Like I got the city skyline apartment. You know, I got the car, and I did all the things that I wanted to do that younger me like really wanted to achieve. Now that I did it, I was like, I don't give a shit about this.
Feel that good.
Right.
Not only does it not feel good, I'm now having to do shit to maintain this, and I don't care about it.
Exactly.
So I think I told Jake about this the other day. I'm about to cut my expenses into half, so that way I buy myself time. So that way I can focus on doing this stuff in a way that is genuine to me, in a way that is where I can take risks and not make as much money over this time period, which I think is extremely ironic because I know for a fact by the time I leave, I'm going to be making so much more money than I make right now.
Yeah.
It's what happened last time. When I made 6 figures in 2 months, I was in my parents' basement.
Yep.
Damn.
With
That's a magic spot.
$1,700
Hey.
of fucking expenses. Yeah.
You got an extra room in that motherfucking basement? Nigga, that's
Hey, we got 2 rooms.
Magic in that
we got 2 rooms, bro.
why I have to move down, man.
That's amazing.
Hey, mom, this is my friend. He needs to stay here for a little bit.
I'm all cooking eggs like the baby boy. All my boxes. Pops like, who the fuck this nigga? God, no. Pops,
Howdy, nigga.
Howdy, nigga.
My parents are like, white conservative, like nurse and firefighter. Like that should tell you everything you need to know, man.
Hold on. Does your
Shout out to
pops
the parents,
have the
though.
mustache?
He don't.
Okay.
He actually has no
You know that
facial hair.
firefighter mustache.
I've been trying to
If
convince
he
him.
had that stash, he definitely say nigga.
We gotta go.
Yeah, no, you're good, man. Yeah.
No, for sure. Well, hey, man, that's been our time. Big shout out to Thad Swift, man. It's going all the way
Shout
down.
out
Big
Thad.
shout out Jake behind the camera. And even though we pick on Peyton, man, we love him, man. Big shout out to Peyton. He got a baby on the way, too. He announced it so we can talk about it. But, hey, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, leave comments, listen to us on Spotify or wherever the hell you listen to us. It's been real. Thank you for watching. It's going all the way down. You dig? Yee!
Tell us so they can fuck with us. Holler at me, bitch, I'm coming up. How can you live with yourself with your kids looking at you when you looking bummy? I'm being for real, my nigga. That type of shit make me real sick to my stomach.